I'm here with Jeff Gold, and he just got done doing his set here at Folktacular. And Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your music, and we'll kind of start there.
Well, I came from New York originally. I was in the great folk scare of the late 1970s in New York. I played in a bunch of song cycles with people like Suzanne Vega and Sean Colvin, Jack Hardy, David Massengill, Rod McDonald, Lucy Kaplansky. And a lot of those people sort of branched out, and I'm sure a lot of people know their names. And that's where we honed our songwriting skills. Did a lot of performing at a place called Gertie's Folk City, which was like the mecca of folk music all through the 50s and 60s. That's where Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell and Peter, Paul and Mary all got their starts. And then the club closed, and the folk music scene started to sort of disband, and then we came out west. Played at a lot of places here, like a place called The Breakaway, Mama Pajamas. Of course, both of those places are gone. And we had a nice music scene here in the late 80s, early 90s that went on for quite a while. And I have CDs out and written a number of songs. A couple of songs have been done by some other groups. The song Three Strangers was done by a group called the Song Project, who put out an album in Italy. And
wow, that's great.
That brings us to here.
Cool. You know, I wanted to ask you, how did you first meet Robert Morgan Fisher?
I used to run a song swap at my house, and it was based on the one that I was involved in New York, which was at a place called the Cornelia Street Cafe, which Lady Gaga worked as a waitress just a couple of years ago, because that place is still there.
Wow.
And the idea was to do a new song every month. It could be part of a new song or an entire song, and then we wouldn't sort of critique it formally, but we'd have a break and have some food and wine, and then people would give you feedback about your songs. Wow,
that's a really cool forum for a songwriter.
So a lot of the songwriters that performed here tonight used to come to that song circle.
Okay. Wow, that's fantastic. During your set, you had a lot of, I call it rootsy, kind of that slide guitar vibe to it, and I thought it was really cool. I know with folk music, there's sort of a sound that is associated with that. Mm-hmm. You're a little more bluesy, at least to my ear. Where does that influence come from?
That comes from my being brought up on Eric Clapton.
Okay.
One of my favorite guitar players of all time.
Wow, cool.
And also there was a group in New York called the Roach Sisters, and their finger-picking style is sort of similar also. Okay. So I picked up a lot of that when I was in New York.
Wow, that's great. Well, thanks for taking a moment to talk with me, and thanks for being on the Acoustic Lounge.
Thanks for doing this.
Right on.